Great. Welcome everyone to the Town of Greater Napanee Committee of Adjustment for the 9th day of September 2025. We'll call the meeting to order and look for a motion of the adoption of the agenda as presented. Moved by Deputy Mayor Calver, second by Councillor Norrie. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? Motion's carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, look for a motion for the adoption of the minutes for the Committee of Adjustments for the 26th of August 2025 to be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Hicks, seconded by Councillor Shank. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? Motion's carried. Land severance application PLCON 2025-041 70 Vanluven Road, roll number 1121-070-040-1961-0. Owner is Steve Winter and the applicant is the Boulevard Group. And do we have anybody here to speak for or against this application? And I think we do have somebody coming in by Zoom, Madam Clerk. We have Jason. Is Jason coming in by Zoom, Shannon? And he'll probably speak to the applicant, I'm assuming, if he's going to speak to it at all.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can. Is that you, Jason?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, Jason Sands here. I'm happy to address the committee and any questions or any member of council that they may have. But I pass it over to staff at this juncture. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Jason. We'll let Mr. Nanton do his presentation, and then we'll see if there's any questions. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Dave.
Thank you, and through you. So this evening, I will be providing a presentation for the application submitted by the Boulevard Group on behalf of Steve Winter for the property at 70 Vanluven Road. To begin with the site context, so the property shown in red on this slide is approximately 13.4 acres in size, located on the south side of Vanluven Road and just situated east of the intersection with County Road 41. The area is characterized by low-density rural residential development situated immediately west and northwest of the site, and there's industrial and commercial uses situated further east of the site and south, as well as situated along County Road 41. The site is zoned arterial commercial C2 and is designated general commercial through the town official plan. Moving to the intent of the application seeks to create a 1.4 acre property in the northeast corner of the site, shown here in yellow. The new lot will sever an existing non-conforming residence and a section of environmental protection area from the larger commercial land holding shown in red. The retained lands will be 12 acres in area and will contain existing commercial development on the site. With respect to technical comments, the county had no objection to the proposed severance. Quinte Conservation did identify some karst features and revised of some requirements for future development in proximity to the EP area, while advising they had no objection to the proposal. Town Public Works had no objection, but did request a road widening as a condition of approval. Moving to conditions of approval, the residence is a non-conforming use. And a residence in the C2 zone as a principal use is not permitted. So zoning bylaw amendment is going to be a required condition. To align with policy direction of the OP for the general commercial designation, the new lot will be limited to the existing development, so the footprint, the GFA, similar items, and the retained lands will be required to be legally tied to the property owned by the same owner, which is fronting onto Community Road. The retained lands will also have a holding symbol applied through the zoning amendment to ensure future development proceeds with establishing primary access from Community Road. Moving to the recommendation, the application is found to be consistent with the provincial planning statement, having appropriate regard for the Planning Act and conforms to the policies of the county and town official plan. Approval of the application is recommended, subject to conditions, and I'm available for comments or questions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, sir. Is there any questions or comments for Dave with respect to the presentation of the applications in front of us this evening? Seeing none. And Mr. Sands, if you're still with us, did you want to add anything to the conversation?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And through you, I have nothing further to add. We've reviewed the report. We've also reviewed the conditions that are proposed to be fulfilled through the condition, through the consent application. My apologies. and we have no issues. Thank you to staff for processing and getting us to this juncture.
Great. Thank you, sir. If there's no further questions, we do have a recommendation the committee received for information, the staff report for application PLCOR 2025-041, and further that the application to sever a 1.4 acre lot be granted subject to a number of conditions that are contained within this evening's agenda. Moved by Councillor Shank, seconded by Councillor Norrie. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? Motion's carried. Next matter, file number PLCOR 2025-042, 2889/2891, County Road 22, roll number 1121-190-020-12800. The owner's Kevin Craven, and the applicant is Kevin Craven, and I don't believe there's anyone here to speak against, but we do have Mr. Sands online if we do have any questions. And Dave, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you, and through you. So this evening, I'll be providing a quick presentation for the property with the civic addresses 2889 and 2891 on County Road 22. To begin with the site context, the property shown in red on the slide on the north side of County Road 22 is approximately 13.7 acres in an area characterized by low-density rural residential development as well as open field agricultural uses. The site is zoned prime agricultural and designated agricultural through the official plan. Moving to the intent of the application seeks to create a 2.6 acre lot to sever an existing surplus dwelling while maintaining the agricultural landholding, shown in red being 11.1 acres. Part of the application will associate the retained lands with the active agricultural operation, which is also extending south of County Road 22. With respect to technical comments, the county had no objection to the severance. CRA had no objection as well, while noting that there are some features to be mindful of for future development, and no public comments were received for the application. With respect to conditions of approval, to adhere to the intent of the application to sever a surplus dwelling, the retained lands are to legally be tied to the larger agricultural landholding to the south of the property, shown here on the slide in orange. The retained lands and the lands to be joined on the south side of 22 are to be rezoned to further restrict future residential development, and this will protect agricultural uses long-term. Moving to our recommendation, the application is consistent with the provincial planning statement, has appropriate regard for the Planning Act, and conforms to the policies of the county and town official plan. Approval of the application is recommended, subject to conditions. I'm available for questions. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Dave. Is there any question or Dave with respect to the presentation or the applications before us? Seeing none, and Mr. Sands, once again, is there anything you would like to add?
Nothing further, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Great. Thank you, sir, and thank you for being here this evening. We do have a recommendation the committee received for information, the staff report for the application PLCOR 2025-042, and further that the application to sever a 1 hectare lot be granted subject to a number of conditions that are contained within this evening's report. Moved by Councillor Shank, seconded by Councillor Hicks. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed? The motion is carried. Next matter, file number PLCON 2025-043, 124 Old Hamburg Road, roll number 1121-120-020-08504. The owner is the Old Hamburg Village Inc., and the applicant is the Old Hamburg Village Inc. And I believe we don't have anybody here speaking against, but we do have Mr. Legier speaking for the applicant, I'm guessing, sir. Welcome. And go ahead, Dave, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, and through you. To move forward with the application presentation, just to begin with a quick site context, the land shown in red here are the subject lands of the application, being approximately 14 hectares in area, located on the south side of Old Hamburg Road and extending up Champlain Street traveling north. The surrounding area is characterized by lower density residential development, and the Napanee Golf and Country Club and the rail line are situated west and southwest of the site. The subject lands represent part of a draft approved plan of subdivision being the Springside Meadow subdivision, specifically the Phase 1 lands. Just to provide a little context, the lands identified here in purple as Phase 1 are the lands that are the subject of the severance application. Moving to the intent of the application. So the application seeks to create a 5.3 hectare parcel, shown here in red, as well as a 0.3 hectare servicing easement to effectively divide the Phase 1 lands into 2 smaller parcels. The retained lands will be 8.4 hectares in area and are lands currently under construction through an executed pre-servicing agreement with the town. The requested consent will allow the applicant to proceed with further development of lands in accordance with the intended development considered through the plan of subdivision process. The county had no objection to the proposed severance, and Quinte Conservation also had no objections, and no public comments of concern were received for the application. Moving to our recommendation, with consideration for previous approvals granted for the lands, the application is technical in nature and will aid the intended development of the lands. And in accordance with previous planning processes undertaken and approvals granted, the application is found to be consistent with the provincial planning statement, to have appropriate regard for the Planning Act and conform to the policies of the county and town official plan. Approval of the application subject to conditions is recommended. I'm available for questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you, sir. Is there any questions or comments for Dave with respect to his presentation or the applications in front of us this evening? Yep, go ahead, Councillor Shank.
David, any of these changes, does that reflect to anything with the subdivision agreement that's currently on file? Like is now that the severance and or any of this, does that have any, does it correlate with the subdivision agreement that they with the municipality?
Thank you for the question through you. So the application is really just technically creating 2 pins and 2 lots. It's not actually altering the lot fabric or the lotting or number of units proposed through the draft approved subdivision.
Now this, you have to understand, I'm not a planner, you know what I mean? When a developer does this, would that, because of financial or whatever it might be, or you know what I mean? I just don't want to have the rest of the lands all of a sudden go, oh, okay, fly the coop, there you go. We only did half the services that were already supposed to be implied to put in. All right, that they follow through with the whole thing, not just this one, and then say, okay, thank you very much, we'll develop this and we're out of town. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure that the municipality's covered, that's all.
Thank you for your question and commented through you. That's something we're being mindful of at the staff level as well, to make sure that the intent of the approvals that have been granted previously are upheld. By supporting this application, we believe we're helping facilitate the development to proceed as planned.
Great, thanks, Councillor Shank. Thank you, Mr. Nanton. Is there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Mr. Lazier, is there anything you would like to add, or are you good with respect to the presentation? You're more than welcome to add if you'd like. Yeah. Yeah, we may have to get you to come forward and use the microphone. So yeah, if we don't, the folks at home aren't going to be able to hear. So it makes it better. So what you're going to have to do is push the button on the right that says talk, and you have to hold it down when you're talking. So and then when you release it, that's when you finish talking.
Is that better?
Yep, that's better. Thank you, sir.
Perfect. Just formally, my name is Sean Leger, Principal Planner with RFA Planning Consultant. I'm the agent for this application. We've reviewed the staff report and concur with the proposed conditions. That's all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, sir, and welcome. Is there any questions or comments with respect to this application or the gentleman we have sitting in front of us? Seeing none, we do have a recommendation the committee receive for information the staff report for application PLCON 2025-043, and further that the application to create a 5.3 hectare parcel from a 13.7 hectare land holding and servicing easement be granted, subject to a number of conditions that are contained within this agenda this evening. Moved by Councillor Shank, seconded by Councillor Norrie. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed, the motion's carried, and we'll look for a motion to adjourn the Committee of Adjustment. Moved by Deputy Mayor Calver, second by Councillor Martin. If there's no further comments, questions, or concerns, all in favor of that motion? Opposed, motion's carried. Thanks, folks, and we'll see you at 7 o'clock for a regular session of council.